Welcome to my channel, English Speaking. I want to start today with a question, and I want you to answer it honestly, just for yourself, just in your own mind. How many times have you been in a moment where you needed to speak English and your brain just stopped? You knew the word, you studied it, you saw it before. But in that moment, in that real live moment when another person was waiting for your answer, the word disappeared. Your mouth opened and nothing came out. Or something came out but it was wrong, or incomplete, or so slow that the conversation moved on without you. If that has happened to you, I want you to know something important before we go any further. That experience does not mean you are bad at English. It does not mean you have a bad memory. It does not mean English is too hard for you. It means something specific, something fixable, something that every English learner goes through at some point on their journey. And today we are going to talk about exactly what that means and exactly what to do about it. But first, I want to tell you a story. Not a complicated story, a simple one. About a tree. Imagine you plant a small seed in the ground. You put it in the soil. You cover it carefully, and then you wait. The first day, nothing happens. The second day, nothing. The third day, still nothing. You look at the ground and you see only dirt. You start to wonder if the seed is even alive. You start to wonder if you did something wrong. You think maybe this seed will never grow, but underground, something is happening, something you cannot see yet. The seed is breaking open. It is sending out the first tiny root. That root is searching for water. It is searching for nutrients. It is doing invisible, silent, essential work. And then one day, maybe after a week, maybe after two, you see it. A tiny green shoot pushing through the surface. Small, fragile, but alive. Real, growing. Your English is that seed. And the moment you forgot a word in a conversation, the moment your brain froze, the moment you felt embarrassed and silent, that was not proof that nothing is growing. That was the underground phase. That was the invisible work. And if you keep going, if you keep practicing, if you keep giving your English the water and the light it needs every single day, the shoot will come. The confidence will come. The words will come. This is the truth about fluency that nobody tells you clearly enough. Fluency is not something that happens overnight. It is not something you download or unlock or receive one morning as a gift. It is something you grow slowly, daily, patiently, like a tree. And trees do not grow faster because you stare at them with frustration. They grow because you water them consistently, because you give them light consistently, because you trust the process consistently even when you cannot see the progress yet. So let us talk about water. In the story of your English, water is daily practice. Not long, exhausting study sessions that drain you and make you feel overwhelmed. Not 5 hours of grammar exercises once a week. Not memorizing 200 words in one afternoon and then doing nothing for 10 days. Water is small, consistent daily practice. 10 minutes every day, 15 minutes every day. That is enough. That is actually more than enough, because consistency is more powerful than intensity in language learning. Think about it this way. If you drink 3 liters of water in 1 hour and then drink nothing for a week, your body does not benefit from that. Your body needs water every day in regular amounts to stay healthy and functioning. Your brain needs English the same way. A little every day. Regular, gentle, consistent input. Not floods and droughts, just steady daily water. So today, right now, I want you to decide something. Not a big dramatic decision, a small practical one. I will practice English for 10 minutes every day. That is the decision. 10 minutes every day. Not every day when you feel motivated. Every day. Because motivation comes and goes. Habits stay. And 10 minutes of daily English practice will change your brain in ways that 10 hours of occasional study never will. Now let us talk about why you forget words when you speak. Because this is the real question of today. And the answer might surprise you. When you study a word alone, when you see it on a vocabulary list or in a dictionary, your brain stores it in what we might call passive memory. You recognize it when you see it. You understand it when you hear it. But you cannot always produce it quickly when you need it. Passive memory and active memory are different things. And most English learners spend almost all their time building passive memory, recognizing words, understanding them, while doing very little to build active memory. Actually producing words quickly and automatically, under real conditions. And then, when a real conversation happens, when real pressure arrives, your brain searches its active memory for the word and finds almost nothing there. Because active memory is built in only one way, by speaking. By using the word out loud, in sentences, repeatedly, in conditions that feel real. There is no shortcut around this. You have to speak to build speaking ability. Reading about speaking does not build it. Thinking about speaking does not build it. Watching others speak does not build it. Only speaking builds speaking. But here is the good news. You can start building that active memory right now, today, in this session, by repeating sentences out loud with your real voice, in your real mouth, not reading them silently, not thinking them, saying them. So let us do that together. Say these sentences out loud after me, slowly and clearly. I am learning English. I practice every day. My English is getting better. I forget words sometimes. That is normal. I keep going anyway. I will not give up. I am building my confidence. One sentence at a time. One day at a time. Say those again, with your real voice. A little louder this time. Feel how your mouth moves. Feel how the words start to feel a little more familiar the second time. That is your active memory beginning to wake up. Now I want to talk about something that is absolutely essential for your English and that most beginners do not do enough of. Listening. Real, consistent daily listening to English. Think about how you learned your first language. You did not start by studying grammar. You started by listening. For months before you could speak even one word, you were listening. Your brain was absorbing sounds, rhythms, patterns, melodies. It was building an enormous library of how the language sounded, how sentences flowed, how questions felt different from statements, how emotion changed the sound of words. And by the time you started speaking, your brain already had thousands of hours of listening experience to draw from. Most English learners reverse this process. They try to speak before they have listened enough. They try to produce language before they have absorbed enough language, and then they wonder why it feels so hard. Listening is the foundation. It is the soil that your speaking grows from. And I want you to commit to daily English listening, starting today. Not passive background noise while you do other things. Active listening. Focused, intentional, daily listening to English voices, English stories, English sentences, English conversations. Listen to this story with me. Listen actively. Notice the words. Notice the rhythm. There was a young woman named Sarah. She wanted to speak English fluently. She studied grammar for many months. She had notebooks full of rules and vocabulary lists. But every time she tried to speak, her mind went blank. She felt frustrated. She felt embarrassed. One day, a friend gave her simple advice. He said, Sarah, stop studying so much. Start listening more. Start speaking more, even to yourself, even if it sounds bad at first. Sarah was not sure about this advice, but she tried it. Every morning, she listened to 10 minutes of simple English stories. Every evening, she repeated sentences softly before sleeping. Every day, she narrated small actions in English. I am making coffee. I am walking to the bus. The weather is nice today. 3 months later, something changed. A colleague spoke to her in English and she answered. Not perfectly, but immediately. Without that long, terrifying silence. Without her mind going blank. She was not fluent yet, but she was speaking. And speaking was the beginning of everything. Sarah's story is not unusual. It is the story of most learners who eventually break through. The breakthrough does not come from studying harder. It comes from listening more, speaking more, and accepting imperfection as part of the process. Now, let us talk about repetition. Because repetition is one of the most misunderstood tools in language learning. Many learners think that repeating something is a sign that they have not learned it yet. They feel embarrassed to practice a sentence they already know. They want to always be learning something new. But here is the truth. Repetition is not a sign of weakness. Repetition is how the brain turns fragile knowledge into automatic knowledge. Repetition is how a phrase moves from your notebook into your mouth. Think about a song you know perfectly. You can sing it without thinking. You never forget the words. Why? Because you heard it hundreds of times. You sang it hundreds of times. Your brain knows it so completely that it lives in your automatic memory. That is what you want for your English phrases. You want them to live in your automatic memory so they come out without effort, without searching, without freezing. So let us practice repetition right now. I am going to give you a group of essential phrases, and I want you to say each one 3 times. Slowly the first time, a little faster the second time, and with natural confidence the third time. I need help. I need help. I need help. I am learning English. I am learning English. I am learning English. Can you repeat that, please? Can you repeat that, please? Can you repeat that, please? I do not understand. I do not understand. I do not understand. Let me try again. Let me try again. Let me try again. I am not sure, but I think. I am not sure, but I think. I am not sure, but I think. Can you speak more slowly? Can you speak more slowly? Can you speak more slowly? Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your patience. I am still learning. I am still learning. I am still learning. I will keep practicing. I will keep practicing. I will keep practicing. Do you feel the difference between the first time you said each phrase and the third time? That small difference is what repetition does. It smooths the path between your brain and your mouth. And the more you travel that path, the smoother it becomes, until one day you do not even notice you are traveling it. The words just arrive. That is fluency. That is what you are building right now. One repetition at a time. Now, I want to be honest with you about something. Something that some teachers are afraid to say because they think it will discourage you. But I think the truth is more motivating than comfortable words. Wishing for fluency is not enough. Watching videos without speaking is not enough. Listening without repeating is not enough. Reading about English is not enough. Good intentions are not enough. The only thing that is enough is actual practice. Real practice. Your real voice saying real English sentences in real moments every single day, without waiting to feel ready, without waiting until your English is good enough, without waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is now. Your English right now is good enough to practice with. The sentences you know right now are enough to start real conversations with. The courage you have right now, even mixed with fear, is enough to open your mouth and try. Wishing is not practicing. Thinking about practicing is not practicing. Only practicing is practicing. And practicing means opening your mouth. Today, let us talk now about mistakes. Because the fear of making mistakes is one of the most powerful forces that keeps English learners silent. And I want to completely change how you think about mistakes starting right now. A mistake is not a failure. A mistake is information. When you say the wrong word, your brain notices the gap between what you said and what you meant to say. That noticing is learning. When someone corrects you, you receive information that makes your brain update its understanding of English. That update is learning. When you mispronounce a word and someone asks you to repeat it, you have an opportunity to practice that word again. That practice is learning. The learner who speaks every day and makes 50 mistakes is improving faster than the learner who studies quietly and makes no mistakes, because the learner who studies quietly is not speaking, and not speaking does not build speaking ability. I want you to think about a child learning to walk. The child falls down many times, every day. Does the child stop trying to walk because falling is embarrassing? Of course not. The child gets up and tries again, and again, and again, until one day walking is so natural that the child does not even think about it. Your English speaking is the same. You will fall. You will say the wrong thing. You will forget words. You will start a sentence and lose it in the middle. And every single one of those moments is a necessary part of the journey, not a detour, not a failure, the journey itself. So let us practice some mistake repair phrases. Because one of the most powerful skills in real conversation is not speaking perfectly, it is recovering gracefully when you do not. Oh, I made a mistake. Let me try that again. What I meant to say was, sorry, that was not right. Can I say it differently? I think the right word is. Actually, I want to change that. Let me rephrase that. I am sorry. I am a little nervous. Please give me a moment. I know this word, but I cannot remember it right now. Can I describe it instead? Those phrases are your safety net. They keep you in the conversation when your brain stumbles. They show the other person that you are engaged, that you care about communicating well, that you are not giving up. And they give you the time you need to find your words. Practice them until they are automatic, because the moment you need them, you will not have time to think about them. You will only have time to say them. Now, let us talk about something that transforms the speed of your progress. Something simple that costs nothing and can be done anywhere, at any time. Alone. Thinking in English. Right now, your brain probably does something like this when you want to speak English. You have a thought in your first language. You translate that thought into English, and then you say the English version. That process has 2 steps between your thought and your words. And those 2 steps take time. More time than a natural conversation allows. So you feel slow. You feel behind. You feel like your mouth cannot keep up with your brain. The solution is to practice skipping the first language entirely, to have simple thoughts directly in English. And I want to be honest with you, this takes time. You cannot do it fully right away, but you can begin. You can start with the smallest, most automatic thoughts of your day. When you wake up and feel tired, instead of thinking I am tired in your language, think I am tired in English. When you look outside and see rain, think it is raining in English. When you sit down to eat, think I am hungry in English. These are tiny thoughts, simple thoughts, but they are English thoughts. And every English thought you have is one moment where your brain practiced skipping the translation step. Over weeks, those moments accumulate. Your brain begins to have more and more direct English thoughts, and your speaking begins to feel less like translation and more like expression. That is the shift. That is when English starts to feel like yours. Let us practice some simple daily English thoughts right now. Say them as if they are your real thoughts in this real moment. I am sitting down right now. I feel relaxed. I am listening to English. I understand most of what I hear. My English is improving. I am glad I am practicing today. Outside my window I can see. The weather today is. I feel today. I am thinking in English right now, and that feels good. Beautiful. You just had English thoughts. Real ones. And the more you do that, the more natural it becomes. Now, let us talk about phrases versus single words, because this is one of the most practical changes you can make to your English practice immediately. Most beginners study vocabulary one word at a time. They make lists: hungry, tired, beautiful, confused, and those words are useful. But a word alone is like a brick without mortar. It does not connect to anything. It sits in your memory isolated, unstable, easy to forget. A phrase is different. A phrase is a complete unit of meaning. It connects the word to a context, to a grammar pattern, to a real situation. And complete units are much easier for the brain to store and retrieve. Compare these. The word hungry sitting alone in your memory versus the phrase I am really hungry, can we find somewhere to eat? The word confused sitting alone versus the phrase I am a little confused, can you explain that again? The word help sitting alone versus the phrase excuse me, could you help me with something? The phrases are longer, yes, but they are also complete. They are ready to use. They do not need anything added to them. They are the English you can actually say in a real situation, right now, today. So I want you to shift your practice toward phrases. When you learn a new word, learn it inside a phrase. When you review vocabulary, review the complete sentence. When you practice speaking, practice complete phrases, not isolated words. This single change will make your speaking more natural and your memory stronger almost immediately. Here are some essential phrases for real daily life. Say them with me, out loud, with your voice. Good morning. How are you today? I am doing well, thank you. And you? I am sorry I did not catch that. Can you say it again? Excuse me, could you help me please? I am not sure I understood correctly. Can you explain that? I think I know what you mean. Let me make sure. Do you mean? I am looking for. Can you tell me where it is? How much does this cost? Could I have the bill please? I would like to order. I have a question about. Thank you so much for your help. You have been very kind. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful day. It was nice to meet you. Those phrases cover dozens of real situations. Learn them deeply. Practice them until they arrive automatically, and then take them into the real world. Let us talk about real-life English use. Because the classroom, the video, the textbook, these are preparation. Real life is the exam. And unlike school exams, this exam happens every day in unexpected moments without warning. The only way to pass it consistently is to make English part of your daily life, not something you do during study time and then put away. Use English at home while you cook. Say out loud what you are doing. I am cutting the onions. The pan is hot. I am adding some oil. I am stirring the rice. Use English while you walk. Describe what you see. The street is busy. There are many cars. The sky is cloudy today. A dog is walking with its owner. Use English while you shop. Read product names in English. Try to describe what you are looking for in English before you ask. Use English on your phone. Change your phone language to English. Send a message to a friend in English, even if they also speak your language. Make your home, your street, your daily life into an English environment, because the more English surrounds you, the more your brain treats it as a natural and normal part of your world. Now, I want to give you a practical tool that many learners resist at first, but that changes everything once they try it. Recording yourself speaking English. I know, you do not like your voice. Almost nobody does on recordings. But the recording is not about liking your voice. The recording is data. It tells you things you cannot know any other way. It tells you how your pronunciation actually sounds, not how you think it sounds. It tells you how long your pauses are, where you lose confidence, where your voice gets quieter because you are not sure of a word. It tells you your rhythm, your flow, your real speaking level right now. And here is the most important thing about recording yourself. When you listen to a recording from 2 weeks ago and compare it to today, you hear the progress. And hearing your own progress is one of the most powerful motivations that exists. It is proof that your practice is working, proof that you are growing, proof that the seed you planted is starting to push through the surface. So today, after this session, I want you to pick up your phone, open the voice recorder, press record, and say this: my name is, I am learning English because my biggest challenge with English is, one thing I want to say in English but cannot yet is, today I practiced English and I feel, record that, save it, date it, do not delete it, and come back to it in 30 days. You will be amazed at what you hear. Let us talk now about patience, because patience is not passive. Patience is not sitting and waiting for fluency to arrive. Patience is showing up every day and doing the work without demanding immediate results. Patience is trusting that the seed is growing, even when you cannot see it. Patience is the most active, most courageous, most essential quality that a language learner can have. There will be days when you feel like you are not improving. Days when a conversation goes badly and you go home feeling discouraged. Days when you hear a fluent English speaker and the distance between where they are and where you are feels enormous. On those days, I want you to remember something. Every fluent speaker was once exactly where you are right now. Every confident English speaker once froze in a conversation. Every person who speaks English naturally once forgot simple words, once felt embarrassed, once wondered if they were capable of learning. The only difference between them and the version of you who gives up is that they kept going. They kept showing up. They kept practicing through the discouraging days. And so will you. Set small goals. Not I will be fluent by next month. Small, real, daily goals. Today, I will learn 5 new phrases. Today, I will speak English to myself for 3 minutes. Today, I will use 1 English sentence in a real situation. Today, I will listen to 10 minutes of English before bed. Today, I will record myself speaking for 60 seconds. Today, I will write 1 English sentence in the comments of an English video. Small goals create small wins, and small wins create momentum, and momentum creates progress, and progress creates confidence, and confidence creates more speaking, and more speaking creates fluency. 1 small goal at a time. And finally, I want to remind you of something that too many learners forget. English should not feel like punishment. It should feel like a door opening. It is a door to conversations with people from every country on earth. A door to books and films and music and ideas in a language that belongs to the whole world. A door to opportunities, to travel, to connection, to growth. If English feels heavy and joyless, change how you practice. Use movies you love. Use music that moves you. Use topics that genuinely interest you. Use stories that make you feel something. Because when learning feels like joy, your brain absorbs it faster, holds it longer, and wants more of it. Watch a film you love with English subtitles. Listen to a song in English and look up the words. Read a simple story about something you care about. Follow an English speaker on social media who talks about your hobby. Make English a part of the things you already love, and it will stop feeling like work. So, here is your practice cycle. Listen every day. Repeat phrases out loud. Think small English thoughts through the day. Use one real sentence in one real situation. Record yourself once a week. Set one small goal each morning. Be patient, be consistent, be kind to yourself, and keep showing up because the tree is growing. You may not see it yet, but it is there, under the surface, pushing upward, getting stronger. Every drop of practice you give it today is making it more real, more alive, more yours. Subscribe to English Speaking for more practice sessions like this one. Leave a comment below with one English sentence. It can be simple, it can be short, it can be imperfect. Just let it be yours. And share this video with someone who needs to hear today that forgetting a word is not failure. That freezing in a conversation is not the end. That every learner goes through this. And that every learner who keeps going comes out the other side speaking, connecting, growing. Your English is not broken. It is growing. Keep watering it. I will see you in the next session.